on NBC5 News. Guess what? You're watching the Philippe Matthews Show. Number 1.
Welcome to the Philippe Matthews Show at thepmshow.tv. Named the Oprah of the Internet by Mark Victor Hansen, Philippe Matthews doesn't ask questions that are different. He simply asks questions that make a difference. The Philippe Matthews Show features entertainers, bestsellers, authors, thought leaders, change agents, and world-class experts in the field of personal, spiritual, and professional development. An internet marketing entrepreneur, Philippe is the creator of the How movement, dedicated to teaching people how to move from the mindset of hope to the process of how. If you are ready to take your life to the next level, move from the mindset of why to the mindset of why not. Tune in right now to this latest edition of the Philippe Matthews Show and watch your life grow.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, on the Philippe Matthews Show with a hot ticket and a hot mama. Her name is Jara Everett. She is the author of Jump Off. And actually, not only is she a first-time author, but I think this is the first time in history where an author actually launches a single, a track, along with the book. And the book is absolutely amazing. It's a tell-all book about true life stories of Tupac's Suge Knight, R. Kelly, Shanti, and Young Zeezy, and so many more. How are you, my dear?
Hi, Philippe. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for being with me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. What's going on?
Well, I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm interviewing you, right?
Yeah, I was going to say this. Now, I haven't read the tell-all book yet. I mean, Lord knows I could. But it looks like you have a story to tell. Tell me about this book, Jump Off, and also about the single.
I do have a story to tell, Philippe. And let me tell you this. Yes, you are so correct. There is the first time that in history that someone has ever launched a book along with a song. So not only am I an author, I am a songwriter. I am a rapper. I'm also an actress. So I'm just a multiple string of talent here. And I decided that, to use my talent and use my gifts. And, this book was really written a while ago, and I'm doing this. I'm doing this not just for me, but, it's going to help a lot of people. I'm doing what God asked me to do. I believe in God, and I know that a lot of people out here don't want to admit who they are and what they are or where they're going. So I decided to write this book called Jump Off. Me being in the entertainment industry, and this is a big part of my life, I have seen what has gone on years that I have been into the industry. So I just want to aware people that this is life. Move on with life and accept it. If you're able to deal with it, accept it, deal with it, and go on and know where you're going in life. And that's why I decided to write this book. It's an autobiography. It starts with me. It's just not men in the book. There are women in the book. It's my story as I went through different changes and different lives and dealing with different individuals. And the reason why this book is popular the way it is because my life has been involved with people who are men in power or women in power in the industry. So it makes it interesting. It's like, man, I know this person. So, wow, she's been with this person or lived with that person or done this. I like to read about this. I like to read about her story. I like to read what is she's trying to say. So I think that's what a lot of people are starting to get now. They really don't understand the title until they start actually reading the book.
What does Jump Off mean? Why did you use that as a title?
Well, I use Jump Off as a title. For instance, Jump Off is different things. Now, in the Urban Dictionary, it explains and describes Jump Off as a person who tears down a relationship of people or the downfall of plenty relationships, whether that be in politics, sports, entertainment, corporate world. That's what the Urban Dictionary describes it as. Me, myself, I describe it as that too, but I also want to integrate it a little bit more. I want to make Jump Off into people's mind and say, hey, let's use the word jump. Okay, you're jumping and you're jumping off into something different. So within the strings of my life, I have had different impacts on certain situations. I said, well, I've done this. I didn't have heads up. So I was a jump off. Okay, yeah, I understand. I was an unintentional jump off. So I'm gonna use this to jump off to something different now. My life is different than what it was then. So that's why I decided to call it Jump Off. Okay, it's all those strings of multitude with the downfall.
So when you say you were a jump off, when you say you were a jump off, give me an example of an event or an experience in your life where you became that person.
Well, okay, I will give you an example. When I was with Suge, for instance, I met Suge with Death Row Records. I didn't even know he was the owner of Death Row. I was sitting at the table with this guy. I had no idea who he was, and I was asking one of the Outlaws guys, like, I heard people kept calling him Balls, like, who's Balls? Who's Balls? So I asked my girlfriend who was sitting with me at the table, so she was like, I think that Suge. So I asked one of the guys with the Outlaws, and he was like, yeah, that's Suge Knight. Like, you don't know who he is? So I was like, oh, okay. I was suddenly interested in, because I was a young chick in the game. I wanted to be down with Tupac, wanted to be a rapper. So and I fell for Suge. I fell into him. I fell into his life, into the category of being there in the house with him. So to me, hearing that, and didn't see for myself, but knowing that he had a multi-strings of women, I'm sure, I felt like I was a jump-off. Looking back at that, I said, I was a jump-off then, because he had other women before he had me. I wasn't in a committed relationship with him. I wasn't the girl who was about to marry him or had him first. So, I found out later that he was. He was with other people. So, to me, I was a jump-off. So that's why I decided to title this book Jump-Off. Now, I can admit that. I was a jump-off, but where am I going now? Where did I get out of that? Well, I learned my lesson. That's one thing that I got out of it. So, this is why I decided to write this book. It's an interesting part of my life, going through the ups and downs, experiencing the whole world of entertainment. I just knew that one day I would become an author. God has told me this years ago, but I never knew that I would possibly write an autobiography. So I just knew that I was going to be a writer one day and an author and write 20 books and become this huge movie maker and actress and everything, but I never knew I was going to write an autobiography until last year.
So why did you decide to write the book at this time in this place? What happened in your life that said, you know what, I need to put pen to paper, I need to get this out, this has to be told?
Well, this book was written already. There were some changes made to it. And the reason why I came out, it's just something that God has placed on my heart and said, hey, now is the time. Some things you can explain. When God has a time for you and whatever it is that he wants you to do, you do it. Some things you just can't explain yourself, but it's time. It was time for me to get this book out now.
So talk to me about, again, I want people to really understand this term and concept of jump off. Jump off is different in terms of your role. It's different than, for lack of a better term, I don't take offense, a groupie. You're not necessarily a groupie. Explain the differentials between a jump off and a groupie.
Well, a groupie is someone who seeks after entertainers or stars, and they stalk them, or they go through everything that they're participating in, or they're cutting out pictures and putting their pictures next to them and imagining themselves next to them, or they're going, or they're at the hotel and they're hanging out where they are, and then they're following them to their hotels, and this is with each and every entertainer. So those are groupies. Those are groupies when you don't know these people, but you're trying to be in their circle. The difference in that and a jump off, there's a little similarity, because sometimes the jump off may not know these people either, but somehow they end up in their circle, and that's what makes them a jump off. They might end up in a circle, and I don't know for what reasons. Jump off have many reasons why they want to be inside of someone's circle. Sometimes it is for their 15 minutes of fame, or they just want to be next to someone who's important, or they might want to get someone where they feel that there's security that can help, that can hold them down. So that's what was your reason?
Obviously, you wanted to get into the rap game. You wanted to move your career forward. You wanted to be around the players who were in the game. What was your reason for becoming a jump off?
You pretty much said it. My reason that I ended up in a circle is because I am a talent. I am an artist. I am an actress. I am a writer. So therefore, when I went after a record label or anything, I was always in a music group. I was in a female singing group that was signed with Columbia Records. I was already in the circle of entertainment. So quite naturally, when you're in that circle, you're going to be around different people. It's just so happened that I ended up around some of the tough people, the most powerful people. And that's how I ended up in the circle. I didn't end up in the circle to say, hey, I want my 15 minutes of fame. Honey, I want a lifetime of fame. That's why I was there. So,
you want a life, not just a life.
I want a lifetime of fame. Let's keep it real. It wasn't the 15 minutes of fame. So it's just so happened that I am a beautiful person inside and out. It is what it is. I can't deny who I am. And I wanted a career for myself. I wanted to make, I am a person of talent. I can't hide the fact that I have talent. So that's how I ended up around these
Now, in the book,
people.
did you put anything in the book where Suge Knight might come after you? Because you know Suge crazy as hell.
I know Suge, and like I said, whatever's in the book, it's really
love you, Suge. If you listen to the show, love you, brother. Don't come after me. Don't hate the play. I hate the game.
I can't say how crazy he is now, but I'll tell you this: I know how to handle anybody. I don't fear anyone but God. So that's what I could say when it comes to anybody in my book.
When you talk about being a talent, being a singer, being an actress, and what have you, a lot of people say, oh, yeah, well, she was just doing that just, because of whatever. But you actually have tenure. You actually started this style, when you were a kid in my hometown, Chicago.
Exactly.
You were, Miss Illinois pageant in 95, and
yes.
you were born, I think you were born in Mississippi, though, first, right?
That's correct.
And then came to Chicago, and then you did all of these pageants, you did all of these various different things and started singing and dancing. So this really goes back to your childhood.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Talk to me about your childhood and growing up. You got brothers and sisters, big family, or no?
Well, I do have a family. I just keep my family totally separated from my life, period. But I did grow up in Chicago. I was a beauty queen. Chicago's a wonderful place. At the age of 18, 19, I started studying dance and theater and drama. I went on tour. I toured across the country, 23 states, with Shelly Garrett Beauty Shop, and that's how I ended up meeting Shelly Garrett, he's a wonderful director, a wonderful producer, a wonderful writer. He really gave me my start in entertainment. So I have to say kudos to him. But that's how I really got into the entertainment industry. I always knew that I was destined to be someone great. I always knew that. Sometimes you go through ups and downs, or things might be a little tough. That's why later on throughout life I wrote this book, because I had to write about things that I have experienced and what I saw other people go through. So the purpose of my book is just I'm an author, so I'm writing about my life.
It's fascinating because I truly believe that there are just certain people who are picked or handpicked, if you will, to do certain things that their generation, their family has never done before. So you were the first actress in your family, the first perhaps singer.
I am.
Obviously the first author, which, changes the family generational track. I mean, from now on, it's like, oh, my God, we have a celebrity, a genuine celebrity in the family. But the rap thing came about in 2005 when you met Shanti. Is that right?
When I met Shawty Redd?
Yeah.
The rap thing of my career really started from there, but it really started with Death Row when I was there with Tupac. But I really, really got my own, I found myself and within my own single when I was with Shawty Redd, so that is correct. I did the White Tea Female remix song, and it was done. The original was done by the Franchise Boys. I don't know if you remember. I did, whatever in my white tea. That's what was going on back then. So I made the female remake, which was pretty good. It was underground. It was in the clubs. It was sent on the radio, a few mixed shows, and people in the South just ate the song up. The song is still hot to this day. Sometimes I get little words on it, and people go, "Hey, this song will never go out of style. This song is still hot." So, yeah, that's where I really got my start from. He did a whole album on me, so I appreciate him for that. And Shawty Redd is a wonderful producer. He's produced Young Jeezy. He's done Snoop Dogg. He was nominated for a Grammy. He won a Grammy. So he's a super duper producer. He holds his own title. He's a heavyweight.
So give me some advice, or should I say give some women advice in this game who want to break into this game. Is it so difficult as an African American female in the industry that do you have to become a jump off in order to get into the game? Is that part of it? How do you guide women through it if they're in it? Give me some background on that.
Okay, I won't say that you have to become a jump off, but I will say that it is as part of it. And I say that because men want favors. Men, this business is pretty much predominantly ran by men. And you can just look around and see the TV today. You can hear the music today, especially when it comes to hip-hop and rap music. Mm-hmm. It's just dominated with men. So they do want favors, and that's just the way it is. And that's what my book is explaining. Jump Off is explaining how men want favors. So you have to decide within your life if this is the route that you want to go. If a man asks you to drop it down low, get down low, to get to the next or get through the door. So you have to decide if you want to drop it down low, get down low to get through the door, or you have to decide to say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to keep going my route and see when I can get on board instead of dropping it down low to get through the door. So it's just a choice that you have to make. But when you make that choice, you have to decide on is it worth it in the long run. Some people say yes because they're on top of the world and they have a very successful career, and you know, that's just who they are, but they would never admit it. So my thing is, admit who you are. Don't get mad at the person for saying, listen, this is what it is. Admit who you are. Sometimes when you admit who you are, you're going to go through a lot of changes. That's why a lot of people end up probably strung out and don't know what to do with themselves when they do get on top, because really deep down inside, you're not true to who you are. You're not a true person. So you have to decide who you are, where you're going in life. And I know this. I realize that God has given me the wisdom and the insight on people and their ideas and my ideas and my feelings. I have a spirit that connects. And that's why I was able to write this book without any fearfulness or anything like that, because I know I'm doing what I am supposed to do. I know I am. So, and I'm supposed to write this book called Jump Off, and I did write it called Jump Off. Now, another thing, too, is I didn't go real deep into this book. I can save that for part two, because I really could have said a whole lot of other things that could have really been really deep. But I wanted to be careful with it, but at the same time giving the people the real truth, truth. Not holding back, not making this a fairy tale, because it's not always a fairy tale. It may look like a fairy tale. You can make it into a fairy tale, but know the truth behind the fairy tale.
So basically you're saying there is in certain situations, there's a high price to pay. And it's a matter of if you're willing to pay that price. Would you say that's just in hip-hop, or would you say that's in the music industry, period? I
would say not just the hip-hop. Remember, that's just not the hip-hop. You got it. And my book is explaining about the corporate world. My book is Jump Off, explaining about the entertainment, professional sports. It's explaining about everything. So it's not just hip-hop. It's everything in the world. For instance, I have a friend who went for a job interview, and I was like, oh, girl, honey, you got to get sexy. Get this and put some hair in your head. I mean, this is real. Put some hair in your head, look sexy, this and that, and I guarantee you get the job. And she has an MBA. But the next person is overqualified or more qualified than what she was. And I was like, honey, wear this, do this, and do that, and you're going to get the job. She came back the next day. She was like, you are so right. Wow, I can't believe it. I knew that. I didn't even go through what the other people went through. I said, yeah, that's how it is. I know. I could school you on it. I could school you on how to get anything. But that's not a bad thing to go in to look the part to get that corporate feel. I just want people to understand what it is in this world and how you have to be to get to the next level. But certain things, are you willing to do? Are you willing to go the extra mile? Or are you willing to give up something that you might regret later on in life to get to where you want to be at right now? So this is what I'm explaining. You have to decide on what it is that you want. Look at my book, read the book, understand what I'm saying, and I explain it clearly. I didn't use big fancy words where people have to pick up a dictionary to see what this word meant. No, I brought it to you in plain English.
So with the song that you decided to launch with the book, the song picks up some of the text from your autobiography. Is that right?
That is correct.
So how did you produce that? How did that come about?
Well, I was in the studio. A person was my manager. Her name is Robin. And we just decided that we should do a song, something that's never been done, and let's have fun with it. We did this song in 3 hours in the studio. We thought of it. We thought of the concept. We rolled with the music. We picked out the music with the production team. The engineer was there, and we were like, hey, let's just do a song with it. Remember, I'm a rapper. I'm an artist, so in the booth, there's nothing. So there's nothing to it but to do it when it comes to me, when it comes to songs. So we just decided to go into the studio, do the song, and lay it out. And there was a young man on there. His name was Casino Wayne. He came in and he did a bar verse on the song, and we just knocked it out. We said, hey, let's make the song just sort of go with the book, and we'll push it out at the same time. And that's what we did.
I think it's absolute genius in terms of marketing and what you did, because when you're talking about jump off, and you're talking about that lifestyle, the concept of that, and the reality of that, what better way than to put it on a track, and more people will probably listen to the track than actually read the book, but many people will find out through the song that there's a book, and as a result will have somewhat, I don't necessarily know if you would call it a guideline, but definitely a wake-up call to the reality of what it's going to take for them to make it in the industry.
That's right. That's right. That's what it's all about. And, and to let people know, too, that at the same time I'm on book, I'm also explaining to you the low ends and the high ends. And the low ends is giving yourself up to a certain point where you don't understand even how you got to where you got to. The high ends is all the glitz and the glamour and all the VIPs and the fast life and the Chanels and the Christian Louboutins. That's the high ends of it, So, I'm explaining everything from the lows to the highs. So I don't want to just give you a little bit. I'm giving you everything surrounding it, in the inside of it. I'm giving you the core of the whole entertainment industry. That's what my book is giving you. It's giving you the core of it. So if you understand the core, you can understand everything that surrounds it. So that's what Jump Off is all about.
Speak to some of the, because I'm sure if you haven't had it already, it probably will come. There are going to probably be a lot of women who are going to come out and say, oh, my God, you don't have to do that. This is, degrading to women. It sets women back. Speak to the reality of that. To some of the critics that are going to come your way?
Well, first of all, to those who will say that it is degrading, well, I don't think it's degrading to write a book about my life. That's number one. This has nothing to do with the people that's in the book. It's solely dealing with Jara Everett. And another thing, I think that, to each his own. You're not going to please everybody. Mm-hmm. I just want to speak with these young girls and let them know, the ones that have to do certain things and to get into these videos and half naked or whatever. I don't think it's degrading to write a book about my life. I just don't think it's degrading. So, people, you can't please everybody, Philippe. You can't. So, they're going to say, if they say that, then farewell to them. But like I said, you can't please everyone.
Do you feel that it's kind of a double standard out there in the game that, they want you to be this perfect person, but in the actual game it's almost impossible to do that?
It is impossible for anyone to be perfect. Whether you're in a game or not, you're not a perfect person. So it's impossible for anyone to be perfect. Yeah, they expect you to be perfect, but what they have to realize is that you're not perfect. They have to realize that. So that's just the way of life. No one is perfect, Philippe.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. So, how can people get this book and get this track from you? What is your web address?
Well, what they could do, the book is available at Barnes & Noble Nook. Also, you can go to Barnes & Noble website and you can get the book. It will also be in stores by the end of December. Also, the book is available on Amazon, ebook, Kindle. You can also go to my website. It is JaraEverett.com. It's JaraEverett.com. Or you can go to JumpOffTheBook.com. And if you need to get in contact with me, you can info me at Jara Everett, info at Jara Everett, or KRPR Media at JaraEverett.com.
Fantastic. So what's next for you, my dear? I mean, this is going to be, I think, a very big thing. This is going to be a huge launch and, if you will, coming out party for you for the first time, even though you've been in the game for some time. But I think this is going to really launch you and separate you from a lot of the other things that are out there. What's next for you?
Thank you, Philippe. And it is. What's next is that I have written a screenplay, and we're in the process of getting a movie done with this and closing all the loose ends and the tight ends of it. I want to bring this to the big screen now. So that's another part of me that people don't know about. I have written screenplays in my life before. I have several projects on the table for that. I'm building an enterprise. It's not just a jump-off theme. No, this is Jara Everett Enterprises. I'm building a whole team. This is something that I and God has told me that will happen, and I'm going forward with it. And it's just not, the buck doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop here. We're going to carry on. We're going to continue on. And like I said, I am rebranding Jump Off. I'm making this a brand thing where Jump Off is everything. Pretty soon, look out for Jump Off by Jara. So it's gonna be branded to different entities.
I absolutely commend you, Jara. I think this is a story that needs to be told. I think you are best to be able to tell it. And you have support from the Philippe Matthews Show. I'd love to have you come back on when you have other projects, especially if you do another book or the screenplay or the movie comes out, what have you. Let me know, and we will help you get the word out. Thank you for being on the show with me today.
Thank you too, Philippe. And I just want to say, for those who have questions, like I said, they could email me at info@Jara Everett. Also, sometimes I'm on Twitter. You can Twitter me at Jara Everett on Twitter. Also, you can try to look me up on Facebook, which is Jara Everett Official Facebook page. And don't forget about coming out, Philippe. I'm going to be doing a meet and greet in January out in your town.
In my hometown, Chicago, that town of town.
No, it's going to be in California. I'm in your
hometown
right now. But yes, it will be in California.
Where?
I'm not sure yet, but it will be next month. You definitely got to let me know, my dear. Absolutely, yes,
I'll do that. Absolutely.
Definitely, you have to come out. So, we're just inviting everybody out there. Everybody who has questions, they can get their answers there. I'm going to have a meet and greet. You can contact the publicist. She's at krprmedia@jaraeverett.com. You can contact her for info, and we're just going to have a great, fabulous time.
Looking forward to it, my dear. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Philippe. God bless you, too.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
You're watching the Philippe Matthews shows. Now, let me just give you my opinion. He is the Oprah of Internet. What that means is that he is getting together the biggest audience of people that want to make a difference in the world. And if that's you, you keep watching.